Dr. Leon Schreiber, the Minister of Home Affairs and the BMA Border Management Authority in South Africa, they told us that digital gates and cameras will end illegal immigration. Yeah, let's get real here, folks. Illegal migrants aren't just sneaking through the bush in South Africa, but many of them do that. A lot of them are being trafficked in the back of trucks, waved through borders by corrupt officials, or in most cases, officials with not enough technology like dogs that can sensor people's souls to be able to alert officials that in that truck there are people in it. So one of the key issues here, I don't hear them talk about any of those sensor issues that can actually be able to be alert the staff that actually there are people in it. So this whole thing here is just about neoliberal stuff that he announced. There's just nothing that deals with the problems that actually everyday South African is struggling with. Illegal immigration. Schreiber says automation will eliminate the space of corruption. It really sounds like a nice soundbite. But what about trucks? At Beitbridge alone, thousands of trucks cross daily. Beitbridge is actually a border between South Africa and Zimbabwe. There are thousands of trucks that cross there daily. If one driver slips a bribe to an official, an entire load of illegal immigrants can cross under the label of goods. So the machines really don't stop that because the problem isn't technology, the problem is collusion. How these people smuggling ring works that are smuggling people into South Africa, their syndicates works. How do they work? Migrants aren't really queuing with passports. Those illegal immigrants aren't queuing with passport. They are packed into containers with groceries, furniture, or even livestock. Truck drivers are the new traffickers. Syndicates create fake manifests. The border guards weigh them through, and the system pretends not to see. This then linked to drug smuggling, car theft, arms trafficking. The same syndicates run everything. So I think this automated gates, biometric scans only apply to people at official counters, the people who are legal, who are entering the country legally. And we know these people aren't the problem. But corruption at the truck lanes is the weak point, and that requires that manpower that they don't have. He did not propose and ask for more funding in Parliament to look into these issues. All right, there's no funding, no scanners on every load, no oversight is equals to one official can let a syndicate truck pass through. In other words, you can digitize the passport counter, but you can't digitize political will. That's why automation alone will fail. If you're dealing with illegal immigration, it must be multifactorial. It must be around policy. When they get inside the country, what are the things that are they how they able they're not able to survive, they're not able to enter undetected for long, and they're able to be deported as soon as possible. And you also have to think about the regional solution because these people come from these countries. So you need to be able to speak with the other neighboring countries about this issue. Because it's not an issue that you can just say that you can automate. This is like, 2-year-old stuff now. I mean, really. Um, the real solution and why it's avoided? Why is it avoided? So the really things that I think he should have proposed is the intelligently led operation against the syndicates, which is one of the proposal that the Action SA proposed in KZN. The Action SA member proposed this intelligent-led operation against the syndicates. The ANC and AFP rejected it. These are the people that the ANC, the KZN premier was saying about the illegal immigrants, what the damage they're doing to the city, the mikuku they're making, how dirty the neighborhood they live in, and yada yada. He was going on and on and on about these people.
Umuntu oyesibhedlela naseklinika akangene ephethe i-ID. Ubesibona ukuthi ngaphela unayo idocument yokuba lapha. Ngoba mina angikholwa ukuthi singakhuluma ngokuthi ngenxa yamalungelo abantu kufanele phela sibanikeze ama-services. Sithini ngamalungelo abantu balapha kwaZulu-Natal asebephucwe bona bephucwa abantu bokufika abangenayo ama-document okuba lapha ngaphakathi. Ake siyixoxe le. Mangabe ukhona oshokuhlukile ke sim-engage ukuthi senze njani ukuvikela ikusasa leKwaZulu-Natal, because this government is for the people of KwaZulu-Natal. These people voted for us and we must prioritize them. We must lead, champion any program that will protect their rights.
But when it came to voting about solution, Action SA proposed an intelligently led operation in KZN, which will be a team of, Home Affairs and other experts to have a look at this, what these people do when they get in the country, how to actually deal with them. But they refused. And they're going to tell you that they are now for you. When you go to Johannesburg, Lifusi also is the same thing. Lifusi has been seeing the same issue, saying that we've got people we don't know.
Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi seems to be frustrated by the problems that undocumented migrants cause his administration. Lesufi says Gauteng is being invaded by people with no records and no known background and sees this as a major security risk.
You can't have people that you don't know who they are in our own country. It's not only a risk for our security, but a sudden mushroom of people that own businesses. You don't know where they buy their stock. You don't know where they deposit that particular stock or where they bank. And suddenly we have people that are staying in our informal settlement in our communities that we can't account for as a country. That we don't know how they arrived here, what they do. We don't even have a database of their details, their fingerprints, their idea. If it's not a level of recklessness, I don't understand how to characterize it, or I would not know how to characterize it. So we have to deal with it head on. And we need to come with new methods to deal with it. To stop people from going to clinics and other things might be a piecemeal solution for those that believe it will assist them. But reality is we are invaded by people that we don't know, we can't account for, we don't know why they're here, we don't know how they came here, and we don't even know their agenda. And if we allow government just to allow that huge number of people just to be where they are, it's a problem. You go to prisons, almost half of our prisons, I'm told, it's people that we don't even know where they come from, and they've committed serious crimes. So my attitude is to say we understand those that have taken the actions that they've taken. I think they're frustrated, but we need a bigger agenda as government. And I really believe that the sooner we do this urgently, even if to review our legislation, our laws, and also to review our border management systems, and also to put the necessary resources and come with new creative ideas on how best to manage the people that are in our country that we don't know who they are, where they come from, and why they're here.
In our country, we've got people we don't know. Oh my God. When I listen to the ANC folks, people, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you telling us this issue? You should be telling us a solution. You should be telling us that you identify a problem, what you've done with it, how you sort it out, and what is the issue. You should just report us what is the problem, how you're going to fix it, and what you've done about it, and what is remaining for you to do. You can't complain the citizen complaining, they crying. They go to a clinic, it's full. It's illegal people with no documents, even threatening that healthcare system integrity of that healthcare system. And you're not really providing any leadership here, folks. You just out there using these illegal people as a weapon. With and all of these issues, it's a result of the politician. The politicians are the one that created this problem. The ANC and the DA, they've created this problem. So you can see even with the solution proposed by the DA, it's a useless solution. It's not going to solve this problem. You need to have an intelligence-led operation against these syndicates because it's a syndicate. They come in group and they find a land and they hijack a land, they hijack a property, they build all these shanty towns, and then it's going to take thousands and millions of the rand for the government to remove them because you need to go to court, you got to do all this stuff. So very organized syndicates, and they will then pay the money to a little bit of rent to the person who brought them in, to the person who allowed them to hijack a property, to the person who allowed them to get the land and build this stupid mikuku, that ugly thing that actually lower the property value of citizens. I mean, if you look at the townships, the property in townships, they're not going in value as much because of this mikuku. And when you look at the properties that is suburbs that have these mikuku next door to it, they're not going to rise. They're going to destroy your value of your property, this stuff, if you don't really stop it. All right. So, you also have to have a full cargo scanning, not selective inspections. Every cargo needs to be scanned. It needs to use even dog sniffers. Very good at sniffing people because people, as human beings, we shred a lot of cells. So that's how dogs can catch you. Anything, sniffing, even drugs. You need to use all you can. You need manpower. You also need to have a regional engagement with Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Eswatini, and also Lesotho. These are the four countries that are a major headache for South Africa's security. All right. So you need to have an engagement of these countries. The terms and condition of engagement. What do you expect from them to do, and what they need to tell the citizens, and what do you need? You need to have a collaborative approach in this. And also, you have to have an independent oversight to break the bribery chain. But all of these require money. You need a political courage to confront officials colluding with crime network. So that is very important here to deal with this. It's not going to sort itself. So the digital gates won't stop truckloaded human beings waved through by God on the take until the state funds real enforcement and crack syndicates inside its own ranks. Illegal immigration will remain less about migrants sneak through or across the river and more about organized trafficking driving straight through our border. This is very important that they actually look into this broadly, not just this thing, and also just policy wise. You can't just say illegal immigration is not allowed and you allow them to go to these schools and clinics. You can't. That's enabling. You're actually rewarding this stuff by doing that. It's just the policy is just it's a jungle policy. It just doesn't add up. I don't. It just doesn't merit. There's no when you examine it, you don't really see that what is the aim of this policy, what is the impact, and the people don't even know how to assess the impact of the policy. Oh my God. God, Gordy. God protect us. Alrighty. Yeah, this is bad. Really bad. It's absolutely bad. The Schreiber also has admitted that BMA is underfunded, but he did not propose an increase in funding for BMA. Do you know that he did not propose any increase for funding for this BMA? They did not. He did not propose an increase in it at all. When he proposed this, there was no itemized idea of what he wanted to do in there when he proposed it. He just proposed things about this digital nomads problem that has created its own problem elsewhere. So illegal crossing through porous borders like Beitbridge on informal path into Mozambique and Eswatini won't be stopped by automation at official posts. The smuggling routes operate outside official ports. This is where you need to spend a focus on. All right? Without money for drones, surveillance, or staffing, the digital infrastructure automation will remain a sign of plan on paper, not an operational reality. It cannot stop food trafficking through rivers and bush paths, as seen at Beitbridge, where there's no fence, no wall. Address roots cause like Zimbabwe collapse and regional instability. As long as those pressure exists, migration won't stop. Fix political contradictions. You know, there are while ANC and GNU partner may balance this with human rights and SADC obligations, but other parties won't do that. And South Africans are slowly leaning to the right. I see the right hardline parties that are really do not want to deal with this illegal immigration to South Africa. They're the one going to succeed next year. I don't see this stuff. Every time when I listen to DA, it's like, oh, it's another mini ANC. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're 22%. Nearly 22%, 21.8. ANC is 40.1%. So if there's 37 to 38% of South Africans voted for other parties than the DA. That's a telling. If you're going to propose something like this when there is actually a real pressure on the ground on the access to services, schools, and public infrastructure, the syndicates that comes in and still car cable, stop the railways from going nowhere. I mean, all of this stuff are illegal migration problem. It's a porous border. Just a few days ago, there was cases of people, Mozambican man who was kidnapping South Africans for money, arrested and was killed by police during the arrest. So these are the people that came in illegally into the country with no visa. They jumped through the border. We cannot accept this. This is unacceptable. We cannot accept this going on. So you better take this thing of immigration very seriously. Seriously as the highest priority. Okay? It is a priority because it's important for safety of the citizens. If you neglect this, parties, the far right are going to, I can see it. There's a lot of, political parties that are going to, pick up on this very quickly. And I can see them in our analysis. They're likely to be next year in the local government. They're going to win. They're going to Operation Dulula is going to get a lot of vote next year. And Action SA, PA, and even the VF Plus, I've had a look at the policy. They're not into this migration crap, illegal migration nonsense. So they likely also don't have votes to increase the vote share with this nonsense of these two parties. They're busy, not really doing anything at all, but serving their own interest, not serving the people. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Until next time. See ya.